Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Be My Own Boss Podcast. This is episode 41, and I am your host, Mike Hruby, here in Boston. Welcome. Things have really changed since last week when we talked about, can a self-employer beat a recession? And we talked about a lot of the specifics of what could be done in order for you to dig in and make sure that the recession didn't find you and that you had your own path forward. This past week, we have a whole new player in our economic equation, and that is the idea of a worldwide zero tariff regime has suddenly been raised, and so far 11 countries have said they want to be a part of this and they want to discuss it. It is an absolutely shocking, wonderful thing, and it is going to directly affect independent contractors, and that includes you and me. It is just fantastic. This is a whole new playing field. When I began thinking about today's episode, I said, now how big is all this actually? And it turns out it is way, way bigger than anyone is talking about online. I can tell you that. We stay close with Twitter. We get a lot of perspectives, and this is something really no one is talking about. So we'll carry this out here. And the connection, what I'm going to do next, the connection is the specifics of what we've talked about, of what you can do for others and how to adjust those depending upon what they want and what you can offer them and what you can work out in the way of a deal. So, and in planning for growth, you always deal with specifics. So you take the size of the opportunity and you connect them to what you can do about it, and that will give you a plan of action. Nothing academic, nothing, no vaporware. It's here's what I know how to do, and here's where I'm going to fit. I have done this myself, but never under conditions this favorable to independent contracting. So what I want to do next is I'm going to put up a chart. And I know, but this is the way to get the facts to you quickly. And then I'm going to transition this over. And I'm giving you a chart of the 10 countries that have agreed to either are negotiating now with the United States or have agreed to begin negotiations with the United States. And I've included the populations of them, and for reasons that we'll discuss shortly. I did it not in alphabetical order or in size or in GDP or any of that. I did it in the order that they were announced. One of them is really big, and I didn't want everybody to go, oh, I can't do that. I want you to think of what you actually can do, because your doubling of income, your better prospects are going to come from, as we discussed last week, what you do well, what you like to do, and what others appreciate that you do. And this is absolutely made for independent contractors and made for you. So I'm very excited. So as we look at this list, the first one on the list is Israel. Israel is a very small country of 9.9 million people. That's your size, right? You can take a country like that on, no problem. Think about what they do and where you might fit. Israelis coming over here to look for customers, to look for markets, to buy goods and services. Anything that they're going to buy in your area, either geographically or in subject and occupation wise, is fair game, and you don't have to feel intimidated. It's a small country, lower population than many of our cities. The second country is Taiwan, and everybody feels good about Taiwan, and it's a long way away, but they like the Israelis buy and produce heaps of advanced materials, components, assemblies, final goods, technology, and they're joining the party too. So there's what, 33.8 million people are signing up to work with us on a tariff-free basis. Next was Vietnam, which is run by a communist country, but they're the safety valve for people buying Chinese-made goods, but goods that don't say made in China, they're made in Vietnam. So there's a potential economic ally. They've signed up. Take them at their word. The fourth entry on the list is the European Union, of all people. The European Union wants to talk about this. Well, they should, and we have strong reasons to be happy that that's the case. The latest developing news is that the Prime Minister of Italy has said Italy specifically wants to negotiate directly with the United States about going to a zero tariff environment. And then, of course, the wags are all saying, oh, are we tearing apart the European Union? Well, the European Union's been basically trying to tear us apart. So we're not. We're trying to get the trade going. So Italy is clearly a leader. I expect others like Hungary to join this discussion. Fifth on the list is Argentina. You've undoubtedly heard about President Milei and his very interesting approach to populism and people-oriented, and he, pictured pulling stickies off a whiteboard and getting rid of unnecessary regulations. This whole thing is about the individuals in the country taking over power of their own economy, their own self, their own work, and moving the power to them and away from the giant forces, the political groups, the hangers-on, the grifters, and all those, to simply moving them aside and taking them out of the equation. All right, fine. Just a day or so ago, Zimbabwe, someplace in Africa. I have to go get the map, get my globe, and there's Zimbabwe at 17.4 million people. I know that what Zimbabwe has under the ground is extremely valuable. A lot of people want it, and maybe they want to sell it near you. Maybe you have people near you who want to buy it, who want to go over there and sell to them or trade. Let's see. Seventh on the list is Japan at 122.6 million people. They want in. They've indicated that this is great news because they're now a close military ally, as is Taiwan and Israel. South Korea, 50 million. Oh, by the way, I missed India. India, humongous, the biggest country on earth, wants to trade with us, wants to talk about trade with us. 1.4 billion people. This is unimaginably cool that many people would be added to a no-tariff environment working in sync with the United States. It is just mind-bending. We're 345 million people in this country. South Korea chimes in, 50 million people, and Australia, an English language ally, military ally, currently besieged by political forces, but the population is staunchly pro-U.S., loves to buy what we sell. They're joining too. So I added this up, and to my absolute astonishment, it's 2.3 billion plus our 345 million, or 2.65, or rounded up 2.7 billion people have indicated they want to go to a no tariffs with the U.S. environment. If they do that, they'll do the same with each other. And in the course of a week, we have a market that's 7 times bigger for independent contractors to serve. And it's just staggering what this will what is like possible to happen in the field in which you're in. So let's go to some further specifics. What is going to happen very quickly in America is that we are going to run out of workers ready to go. It's simply going to happen. And that is not a bad thing. Because certainly not for you and me, one of the independent contractors, there are now 76 million of us, we are looking for growth opportunities. That's why we're here, and we're about to see them. So you have to look at this as just the best thing possible. I don't think independent contractors are going to be replaced by employees anywhere, and maybe that'll get the certain players off our back and leave us alone so we can serve international clients and prosper and thrive. So it's what's coming is independent contractors to the rescue. A lot of people are going to need help. A lot of people overseas need it. They want to know more about the region. They're going to want to know where the customers are. They're going to want to get to the customers. They're going to want to exchange or graphics or all the different things that people need when they explore overseas. They're going to be coming over here to sell. They're going to be coming over here to buy. They're going to be moving stuff between the countries. And all of that, the intellectual property, the physical property, the energy, the time required, all of that is going to have independent contractors as the first line of attack. And that's you, that's me. So this is a real thing. The opportunity for all of us is to show up where we think the work will appear, or interested people with work will appear. Ask for the work, lay out what it is that you do and how you can help them. Discuss pricing and terms. You've got payments. If all of a sudden the platforms are going to become even more important because you can get on at both ends, and let's hope they work some of their attitude off. I'm sure some of you know all about this, and the opportunity is just it's driving me nuts. I'm just so excited. So you're going to be looking for lists and directories. Let's say you want to serve people. You're a driver, and you want to serve people who want to see different plant sites, either buildings available or greenfield locations. They want to make arrangements. Maybe they want to see buyers or retailers in your area, intermediate manufacturers. If you're a driver, maybe you find a way to do custom assignments that not available on Uber and Lyft and the others. Maybe you work with hotels in your area and get in front of their people and ask about, do they serve visitors from overseas? Because some do, some don't, as a piece of their business. Make sure that you're easy to get along with, easy to get a hold of, available when they need it. You might enjoy simply escorting these people around and to see what it is they want to see. All of that you have to think through. So it starts with lists, what you do. It starts with actions, stuff you're going to do. It starts with where to go. I mean, if you want to tackle hotels or trade conference rooms, or however you have to put those lists together, I recommend, in addition to having a list like this of the countries, is to get a physical map. Yes, actual paper. Google won't do for this. You want to think about your territory just like you were a military commander planning an attack, because you're going to attack this market and make it happen for you. You have to crack it open. And it takes energy and intelligence and perseverance and personal warmth and interest. You're a problem solver. That's why you're an independent contractor. You want to memorize everything that you could possibly do within a 90-mile radius, maybe 120, depending on what's out there at the perimeter. But I did this before, and but the physical map challenges you to look at every town, look at every road, every access point, look for whatever people are doing in this area, and then focus on that, because it's going to the specifics of what you want to do and where you want to do it and the people you want to do it for. Those are the things that are going to connect you as tight bonds as carbon and oxygen. Together, you're going to be closely aligned with your market by focusing on the specifics. So you and I and Be My Own Boss Podcast are out of the generalities area. We're thinking specifics that are going to make this happen. So we've got the 90-mile radius. How did I choose that? That was over 20 years of being a consultant based in New England and working basically transatlantic. That's about what you can regularly drive to meet a client. After that, it starts to get a little more of a trip. Albany was 2 3/4 hours. It was always just a little far. They don't have a lot of industry in Albany, but it personal experience. You've got a family life. You've got personal life. You can get an hour and a half out, have a meeting or two, see somebody new, come back, and still be home for a late dinner. So that's why the 90 miles. But I'd get that map. It's absolutely crucial. You want to memorize how to get to these places. Google is just go the physical route. By the way, there are people who are visual and people who think in text. And all that depends on, all that drives the kind of communications you deal with. We dealt with this with technical and scientific business execs. It's a sidebar, but it's for your communications. There are some people who can read a report, can read a list and see it instantly, and there are other people for whom that's a complete mystery. But if you show them a plant layout or a diagram or a map, they can instantly see the whole thing and get set up with it. I found you could write reports and communicate and do both things at the same time, and each guy thought you were speaking to him. Anyway, okay, end sidebar. So this whole thing is going to be about engagement. And let's go to the chat. And Bud Soda says, I'd love to do something overseas, maybe logistics or something similar. And Bud Soda, this is such a great opportunity for that, because with international trade, almost everything is moving, whether it's ideas or physical. It has to do with shipping if it's physical. It has to do with communication if it's intellectual. And there are a lot of ways to just start in with what you're doing. It's going to be your personal relationship that is going to put this over put it into the signed column. So Bud Soda adds that bars and restaurants, Watertown, Syracuse, and Utica, Rome, I know it well. Frequent traveler on the New York State Thruway. And yes, that's exactly the kind of thing that I'm thinking of here. You've really nailed it. There are people who are going to want to come there and talk with you. You've got that base. I don't know if the the airport is still working. Something tells me it probably is, but Syracuse has a very good airport. So that's exactly, Bud Soda is proposing. Look at the map and see what pops out. The map is going to teach you what you can do and point in the direction that you can work. And it is a marvel when these things happen. So thanks, Bud Soda. Appreciate it. Any others? And people in the in the chat afterwards, the comment section. I will review these. I still go over them, and I'll do my absolute best to communicate. So looking forward to those. But anyway, to wrap up, this is the trade boom ahead. Can you jump on? I can't imagine how some of this work is going to, all this work is going to escape you. You're going to be able to put this together, and I wish you all kinds of luck. We're here to discuss all of it, make it exciting, make it great for you. So like this episode on YouTube and follow our channel, Be My Own Boss channel, and subscribe so you get the alerts and can join us in the future. One final comment. Syracuse is Hancock. Rome is still up. Utica has a small airport as well. The old air base is a business park. That happened to Pease Air Force Base, Bud Soda, here in southern New Hampshire. What a long runway they had. They B-52s and the tankers came out of there. Boy, oh boy. So, but anyway, that's the basis of the future economy up there. Is you're gonna have international flights. You're gonna someplace into there. Things are gonna happen. International business. So, like the episode, follow the channel, subscribe, and we will see you soon. Thanks very much.